Hi, Vadim. How are you?
Hey, hey Nick, all good.
So today we're just discussing about your experience with Project Management Revolution, and if you can give us some feedback based on your experience and the journey from the beginning of the taking of the course till the end, and maybe we can start from the beginning. If you can just let us know, where were you before taking the course, and what's your background?
Sure. So my background is I'm originally from Russia and I've been living in UK for the last 10 years. Moved here at the age of 14, and like after university, I won a couple of competitions, like startup competitions when I had my own projects with my team. And then I joined a company that produces international events around the world, where I was leading still do wealth management portfolio. So we do like huge international events for elite that advises high net worth individuals on like taxes and all that. So in Zurich, London, Kiev, Russia, everywhere. So I was working there, and I always was fascinated by kind of large scale projects, how they done, and frameworks that you can use to kind of make them as efficient as possible. And I always wanted to join a startup in the role of a product or project manager. Mm-hmm. So I started researching what courses are there, and I stumbled upon Nick's videos on YouTube, and it was quite insightful. So I decided to reach out. Found this. Where you can schedule a call. Originally, my idea was to connect with Nick to get some feedback on my CV, because I was applying for this roles, project manager and product manager roles. And we kind of got on the call, and he broke down the structure of like my CV. He then dived deep into personality. He talked about what he's doing, but that he has a course. He told me about the course. It seemed interesting, so I decided, and then it was really he dived deep into my personality just over a short call. So that felt interesting. So I was like, I had money at the time, so I was like, let's go, let's do it. It seems interesting. I need some motivation anyway. I'm doing some other courses at the same time. It's COVID. There's a lot of free time. Let's do it. So a week later, I was on the course, started watching it, and kind of, I think it's better if you ask like some questions about that, and I can dive deeper.
Okay, so thanks for that. And so you got into the course, and why did you initially jump into the course? Why did you want to take this particular course, and not maybe something else?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point to focus on. Is because the courses, and I have friends who taken courses in like project schools and etc. Where they paid a lot of money, or the companies paid a lot of money, and first of all, it's COVID. There's no, but there you don't really get any sort of mentorship. So back in university, I was president of an entrepreneur society, and there I was able to create a mentor matching platform where we were connecting students with business ideas to like people from Dragon's Den and etc. So I know the power of mentorship, how helpful can it be for people. So I saw that this here, you not only get access to the resources and lectures, you also get access to Nick, which is the initial thing that I wanted to get when I was sending him my CV. So I thought that hey, it's definitely worth the cost. It's like it's a very early stage. It's definitely gonna be. It will cost more in the future if like once it develops further, and there will be more audience. Like Nick will never be able to, mentor 100 people like an hour a day, or like it would be really impossible. So I thought that this is an early on opportunity to join and could be really insightful. So I did. It played out well. I'm pretty happy about how it played out.
Okay. And can you explain, like, so you started the course, and when you started the course, can you kind of walk us through, like, what was your experience? Like, what did you do? Did you like reach out with me, like how we connected, and how I led you, and like those kinds of steps? What was the overall experience?
Sure. When I just opened the course for the first week, I was surprised that it wasn't project management. It was what was the name of the first week? Remember?
For which?
The project management course, week 1. What's the name of it? It's because there's the really cool name. Let me.
Yeah, there's you mean the actual modules, right?
Yeah. So welcome to the project management mindset. So week 1 is mindset. So it's very what I found very different is the course begins not from the course, it begins from you. So you need to be, before you take this course, Nix makes sure that you're ready to take the course. And it's great. It's amazing. That because the first week, all you do is you dive deep into yourself. They make you, Nix makes you write things that, first of all, you wish for the things. It's self-analysis, very deep self-analysis that you would never carry out yourself. Just like, hey, let me self-analyze. There's no pressure. So he creates that pressure. Super interesting. You need to introduce yourself in the group, and it just makes you think where you want to go, where your problems were. Like, for example, for me, when I was self-analyzing myself, I found that the biggest problem that I have is lack of strategy. I do a lot of things, but I never think it through, or I commit to them. And the reason I don't commit, it always comes back to the strategy. And it's like the more you write, the more you see these problems, and usually it is like a vicious circle. Like one thing falls down, and it's just like a loop. So it helps you identify those things, and then like in the week 2, he helps you to get to kind of not get rid of them, but to master the control of them. It's called self-mastery and mastery of others. And there you have to, first of all, need to understand yourself, who you are, why you are like that, and it's okay to be like that. And then what do you need to do with it? Like, what are your strengths? How to build upon them? Then your weaknesses, you should be aware of those weaknesses. So it's really it's very different from anything else that I ever seen, and I believe that all courses should be done the same way. At least a small brief part in the beginning of each big course. For example, in the universities, they should do the first year, at least there should be one subject about the mindset or the power, how you need to, how do you build upon your strengths, and how you build the teams, how you interact with people. They don't teach you that. So it felt new, it felt fresh, and it felt relevant, and it did resonate with me. To this day, I have this sticker here. It just says read mantras before sleep. When I did it, it's just the feeling that you have from it it's hard to describe, but you feel, the people describe it when they like believe in God and they have some sort of connection. There, you don't have a connection to God, but you have a connection to yourself, and you feel more empowered. You don't think too much about the bad things. You just think about what you need to do to get where you're going. So that's fresh. That's new. I love it. And that's the so this first 3 weeks, the first 2 weeks to be precise, you dive deep in yourself, and only then you go to the project management. And by the time you get to the project management, you are no longer that person that you started doing the course. It's just you're like, all right, I know why I'm doing the course. I know where I'm going with it. This is my plan after I do the course. This is my plan during the course. And it's just the beautiful thing I found is that after this course, you can take more other courses. They will sink in much deeper. So, for example, if you need some more details, you can always do that. And the way you did this course will really help you nail any other course.
Okay, thanks for that. And can you give us a few words about the strategy call and how that actually played a role when you were actually going through this material, just briefly?
So Nick challenges you. He's like, "Are you sure? Are you ready? Are you the one?" So you're trying to prove yourself. Yes, I'm the one, and that makes you like when you watch the course, you know that what if he checks like how much course are you doing, and he sees that you're not doing anything, and then he sends an email or you send him an email, but he knows where you are. So there's no kind of way for you to it just keeps you motivated. There's no way for you to slack off, in a sense. If you start doing the course and then you stop, he will see it and you know it, and you can't really reach out and like, hey, something is not going well. He checks up your analytics and he sees that you haven't even done the first week. What can you talk about?
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so you went through the first couple weeks, then you got to the actual simulators, and then you passed that as well. And towards the end of the course, there's this section where it talks about resume writing, establishing like the proper interviewing skills, and can you briefly share on that particular call, the coaching call that you get at the end when you're ready to go for interviews, what happened there, and then also if you could briefly talk about what happened after that, the next steps.
Sure. So, well, what exactly do you want? I think I lost the.
Yep. Yeah. Sure. So if you can just give us a few examples of, so you went through the material and then eventually you got to the interview and resume mastery, right, which is kind of the end of the course, and that's where you're getting prepared to go and seek out jobs and eventually go for interviews, right? What happened at the actual call that you have with me once you're ready for that? And then once you did have the call, what happened next?
Sure. So so for me, being an international person with who requires visa in London, like I've done a lot of those courses, so it's hard to impress me. So for me, the most powerful part was like it will definitely be helpful for many people who, especially local in their country, because they don't usually pay so much attention or dive deep into the way kind of this world, the the job hunting world works. But for me, I spent like hundreds of hours polishing my CV, adjusting the design. Like you've seen my CV. It doesn't look like any other CV, and
Yeah.
I don't think you ever seen a CV like that. Maybe something in that direction, but not like this. So I did spend some time on that. So for me, the most powerful part was to abilities. So Nick kind of advised. He has this project management CV. That's really amazing because that's the best way for you to understand like what do you need to write there. So that was a great framework. That I used that framework to adjust my CV to add this and that part. And once I did that, I started sending that CV, and I got a response from Google-backed startup, and the startup like they like what I have, and they really wanted to connect to chat about the job. And I had a week lead time, so I quickly sent an email to Nick, like, hey Nick, I think I landed something. I need some help. I need some advice. He's like, sure, man. Like, let's jump on a call. And we jumped on a call. It was like spent like more than 2 hours talking through. He explained the job spec. I sent him the company. He broke down. Be like, I was like, what type of this company? What do you think they're looking for? And I really wanted to challenge him as well to see what he has to say about it. And he broke it down like perfectly. He's like, this is an agency. They have a lot of like stuff going on. It will be really tight deadlines. Let's see their team on the LinkedIn. Oh, wow, they don't have a scrum master, or they don't have this and this person. It seems like you will be the first hire. And that means you will have to bring the structure. You need to do this, X, Y, and Z. So he broke it down. I was like taking notes at the same time. And he told me like what's the best way to impress. We talked about the personalities, and a lot of project management managers, they don't seem to be focusing on people. They focus on frameworks. Nick's approach is different. He focuses on people. He said it's very important to be able to connect with people, know what are their triggers, where to press, and etc. So he asked me to focus on that. I had an interview with them, and they just used whatever we discussed. I told them like, hey guys, this is the type of company you are. This is what you're looking, correct? They're like, oh wow, yes. So everything we broke down on the call was like came out to be true, and they were super impressed by my understanding of their company. So it was like an hour long. We chatted. Like usually, if it doesn't work out, they hang up. Like they close the interview earlier. So it was great discussion. I felt like I nailed it, even if I didn't, because I'm still waiting for their response at the time we recorded this. Like I'm confident with any future interview, and I have the framework how to analyze their company. Like you go to their LinkedIn, you analyze what type of PMs, agile Scrum Masters they have. This way you see how deep are they into the project management game. Are they just starting, or maybe they're the company that started to have so many projects that they need someone with a structure who will be able to manage the team well and be that person who translates the vision of PO or CEO to the team, and then helps to bring in everything together so everybody knows who is working on what. So that call, I was super impressed. It was super helpful, really interesting. Nick just gave me some case studies as well from his life, how the way he handled interviews and what they were searching for. So that's what essentially I was expecting from the course. It was some sort of mentorship connection, much deeper than me watching videos and then doing like something like practicing exams there. It was like some sort of university vibe with like a professor who you can reach out to get some expertise on some things that you're working on. And then what Nick emphasizes as well is that once you buy the course, you have access to him, his group for unlimited time. So meaning that, for example, right now, I'm still trying to land the job, and as soon as I land the job, I imagine there will be a lot of questions how to handle this and that. So for that, he has weekly calls where you can connect with him. All these calls are recorded. So, if, for example, it can be beneficial for you to be able to view the previous calls that happened, and just break down like live how to do this and that. Once you have a problem in the company, you can connect, and there's other project managers that are there. So it's kind of a community of PMs where you can break down each other projects, help, feedback, and it's amazing. It just needs to grow a little bit more, and once it's a little bit bigger, it would be like incredible. But again, once it grows, the access to Nick will probably reduce. So there's, ups and downs. But
the trade-offs, yeah. Okay, thanks for that. And any last minute things that you wanna say for anyone that's looking to go into project management or is looking to maybe advance in that particular practice right now? What would you say?
Yeah, so I would recommend the course. I think it's something new on the market. It's definitely not the courses that you're used to, find that like earn 100K and all that in 1 month. It really focuses on you. It's very niche as well for PMs. And it allows you to understand that it's actually not that hard. And what all these companies are looking for, we're searching for people. They're just searching for people, for a person who are able to manage people and knows some frameworks. But even if you don't, there's like nothing that you cannot learn the job or prior to the job. Mm-hmm. So just make sure you understand the industry, where you can grow out of it. We broke down as well the potential kind of routes for me to grow my salaries, grow my how I can open my own consultancy and all that. Something that I do anyway. I do like some consulting for projects for startups right now anyway. So it was really interesting experience. I'm continuing, I'm looking forward to just keep interacting with Nick, and I think there is just a really cool connection that I made, and I definitely don't it's worth every single dollar that you spend. It's much better if you buy a motorbike or something. You will grow.
Okay, and
just the first 2 weeks, they're worth it.
Okay, and last question that I want to ask you. I know we said this is last, but last question that I want to ask is: did you just mentioned that even if you didn't know that you would be able to overcome and be able to do stuff, did you see that before the course? Did you think that it was going to be like that before taking this course?
Can you say that again?
Yeah. So you said that if you don't have enough, if you're going to a particular industry and you don't know enough, and even if you don't know enough about project management, you said that it's not rocket science, that you can be able to overcome and do it. Did you see that through these eyes before taking this course?
I expected it. I think not, as long as it's not building rockets, it is not rocket science.
But did you see it that simple?
But again, simple, right? There are frameworks. There's some things that you need to know. And what Nick gave me, what his course gave me, is the exact A to Z of a project with documents. So now I am a PM with my own collection documents that can come into the companies like, hey, this is how you do this. This is how you do this. This is the framework for this. And I'm a person who brings value, not the person who comes and like, hey, give me this and that. I know, and I know what to ask for. I know what is a good company will look like. For example, they need to be able to give you the projects to give you this and that, like some original information. So you don't like, so what you need, you understand what you need to invent, what you don't need to invent, what you need to ask for, what you need to expect. How do you filter good from like average company from a company that knows what they're doing? So right now is just when somebody tells me, before when somebody would tell me, hey, I'm product owner or product manager or project manager, I'll be like, ooh, and now I'm like, hey, I know what you're doing. So like I can have conversations. I know like it's transparent to me, and that will definitely like gives me confidence that I can do that. And the one thing that I really wanted to mention, and I didn't mention it to Nick before throughout our conversations, is that essentially I had some of these frameworks. In some way I was following them, some way I was doing them, but it was never a framework A to Z, that's a guardrail. So a lot of things that were covered in the course, they are the things that you stumble upon in your life anyway. So here they just gives you the exact guardrails how to do that. So it makes it easy for you to make decisions. It makes it easy for you to track, like where something went wrong, or just track the project. So it just solidified. And I was when I was watching it, I had this frustration. I was like, why don't our company do it? Like, because when I joined the company, I was like, hey guys, teach me what are the frameworks we're doing. Are we doing this and here and there? And they're like, oh, there's no frameworks. None of them exist ever. And here it was like everything what we're doing, but in a professional way. Yeah. It was like, thank God.
Okay. Thanks for spending the time with us today, and looking forward to keep on working with you.
Pleasure.